Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you've just arrived, I recommend that before continuing with this video, you first go to the one where we explain step by step how to make the magic ring. It's super important to master that first step because that's where our bag begins. Then you can watch the second video, where we cover rounds 1 through 5, explaining how to make the single crochet and what an increase is. Once you've got all that down, come back here and let's keep crocheting this circular base together. Remember, the goal is to complete 32 rounds, and with consistency, you'll get there. As we always say on this channel, do it yourself. Now it's time to get those hands on the yarn. At this point, we've come a long way, and that deserves a big congratulations. Staying consistent isn't easy, but if you're watching this video and you've made it to round 13, it means you're committed to your project. In this round, we're going to make 11 single crochets followed by 1 increase. We'll repeat that pattern all the way around. Remember to use your stitch marker so you don't lose track of the beginning. By now, you should have some practice counting and recognizing stitches, but it's okay if you get confused. What matters is to breathe, check your work, and keep going. There are no mistakes here, only learning. As we crochet this round together, I want to share a bit about the origin of tapestry crochet. This technique has fascinating roots in different cultures. For example, the indigenous Wayuu communities in Colombia have perfected the use of crochet through their colorful and symbolic bags. Each design, each woven figure, carries meaning. There are shapes that represent nature, family, and community. So even if you're crocheting a simple bag without complex patterns, you're becoming part of a powerful tradition that speaks through the craft. Every round you complete is like a word in a story woven by you. Back to the practical side, as you work this round with 11 single crochets and 1 increase, you'll notice that the circumference of your base keeps growing, but very subtly. It's important to keep your yarn tension as even as possible so the base stays flat. If you see it starting to ripple or curl up like a bowl, it might be due to the tension or a missed increase. Don't stress about it. You can calmly undo and repeat the round. Everyone who crochets has been through that. Crocheting is not a race, it's a journey. A space of calm, of connection with yourself and with what you're creating. So breathe, play some music if you like, and keep going. Do it yourself, at your own pace. Once you finish round 13, which takes a bit more time because of the number of stitches, you can stretch a little, move your fingers, and when you're ready, we'll continue with round 14. In this round, we're going to do 12 single crochets followed by 1 increase. As you can see, the pattern is very logical. Each new round adds 1 more single crochet between each increase. That's the key to keeping a circular base that grows evenly. If you're using multiple colors, this is a great round to start switching them so your bag has more life, more identity. Tapestry crochet allows for endless combinations. You just have to be willing to play with the colors. Let's talk a bit about the importance of counting carefully in tapestry crochet. In this technique, since the yarns are carried inside the fabric, even a small mistake can affect the overall symmetry. That's why I recommend pausing for a few seconds after each round to count your stitches. It doesn't matter if you already have experience, counting is always a good habit. It can save you time later on, especially if you're following a specific design. And even if you're not working from a visual pattern, it's still a good idea to get used to the discipline of counting. Remember, this project is yours and it deserves your full attention. Now, as you continue with the 12 single crochets and 1 increase, I want to encourage you. You're doing great. You're on round 14 out of 32, that's almost halfway. The progress might not be obvious at first glance, but trust me, it's there. Every stitch counts, every minute you dedicate matters. And if you're here, it's because you chose to do this yourself, without shortcuts. That alone is something truly valuable. Sometimes it's not about finishing quickly, but about enjoying the process. So if this moment of crocheting is your escape from the day, your personal therapy, or simply your creative space, I applaud you. Don't stop. Breathe, smile, and keep going. Do it yourself. Now I want to talk to you about something that can make a big difference in the quality of your crochet: offsetting your increases. If you haven't heard of it before, don't worry, it's very common and super useful in crochet. Let's break it down step by step. When we talk about offsetting, we mean changing the position of the increase in each new round. So, if in the previous round you made your increase after 11 single crochets, don't do the exact same thing in the next one. Instead of starting the same way, crochet 5 or 6 regular single crochets first, then do the increase, and from there continue with 12 single crochets and 1 increase. And why is this important? Well, if you always place your increases in the same spot, the fabric starts forming a sort of hexagon or visible angles. But if you offset them, the base grows in a more rounded, smooth, and even way. It's a simple but very effective trick, especially if you want your bag to have a more polished and professional shape. So go ahead and try it in the next round. Mark the halfway point and shift things a bit. You don't need to memorize, just watch your fabric. Remember, do it yourself, but with intention. Tapestry crochet is not just a technique, it's also a way of telling stories through yarn and patience. Since we're talking about details that make a difference, here's another tip: don't forget to check the back of your work. In tapestry crochet, you often crochet with 2 or more strands carried inside the stitches, and if the tension isn't right, loose threads or bumps can appear on the reverse side. It's not a big deal if that happens, but if you want your bag to have a clean finish, take the time to check the back. Sometimes a simple adjustment in how you hold the yarn can work wonders. Another useful detail: if you're going to change colors later on, you can already start planning where each color will go. Even though this video is just about the base, knowing where your increases end and how the stitches are positioned will help make your color transitions smooth and avoid crooked lines. Did you know that many people use planned increases to create diagonal lines in tapestry? So if you're already dreaming of a colorful design, start now with a strong foundation. Did you know that crocheting regularly can help reduce stress and improve your mood? And before we wrap up this section, let me tell you something important: you're doing great. If you're investing your time, your focus, and your energy into this project, you're already creating something beautiful. It doesn't matter if you're going slowly, if you get confused, or if you have to repeat a round. That's how you learn. That's how you grow. And that's how you truly enjoy this craft. Because here, we're not just crocheting bags, we're crocheting patience, confidence, and self-pride. So don't forget, do it yourself. If this video is helping you, subscribe and join us for the next steps in this project. And we've reached the end of this video. If you completed rounds 13 and 14, you're making wonderful progress. If you're still halfway through, that's totally fine. Pause, take your time. There's no rush here. In the next video, we'll keep expanding the base until we get closer and closer to round 32. Thank you for being here, for sharing this crochet space with me, and most of all, for having the patience to build something with your own hands. That has so much value. Always remember the phrase that guides us: do it yourself. And if this content has been helpful to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit like, and leave me a comment telling me how your bag is coming along, if you've had any difficulties, or which part you've enjoyed the most. And please, share this video with someone else who wants to learn or who could use a good dose of creativity and calm. See you in the next video. Keep on crocheting.